Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about health myths. We'll be doing some reading, discussion, and vocabulary. Daniel, welcome to class.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Daniel?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty well. Cool picture. Is that new?
Yep. No, actually, it's my very first time with you, so nice to meet
Nice to meet you too. Cool picture. So where are you from, Daniel?
you. Nice, thank you.
Where are you from?
Colombia.
Excellent. Very cool. Sorry about the game yesterday.
Yeah, you know.
Too bad. You'll get him next time, right?
Referee. Talking
It was
about
the referee.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm gonna watch the match on Tuesday. I wanna watch how Brazil lose.
Who's Brazil playing on Tuesday?
Germany.
Ooh, that will be an interesting game.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch for sure.
All right, me too. Okay. And Julius? Julius?
Yes, Julius, yes.
Julius. Welcome to class, Julius.
Hello, thank you.
I think this is your first time with me as well, right?
Yes, absolutely right.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Israel.
Very cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Excellent. And have you been paying attention to the World Cup games?
I'm not a fan of soccer, so not at all. I even don't know
All right.
what is the game today and who is playing today. It's not for me.
Do you like other games?
Not to see on TV. I'm not a sport fan.
Ah, I see. Okay. So what kind of things do you like to do then? What games do you play other than sports?
No, I like play soccer in real life, but I don't
Okay.
like to see it in other players play.
I see. I understand. Very cool. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Rosario, welcome to class.
Thank you.
How are you, Rosario?
I'm doing just fine. What about you, Bella?
Doing very well. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And let's see. Mauri, welcome to class.
Thank you, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And I
That's
think this is your first time with me, right?
No, I think it's the second time. You stay in Brazil right now.
Yep, that's right.
I remember.
I like your dog with glasses. That's very cute.
Oh, yes, I have two dogs. The breed is Blue Heeler.
What?
The kind of my dog is Blue Heeler.
A Rottweiler?
Blue Heeler.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's Rottweiler with an R, right?
Rottweiler.
Excellent. Those are athletic dogs.
yeah.
Fighting dogs.
Yeah, lots of energy, definitely. All right. And let's see. Jella? Jella? I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Hello, my name is Gela.
Gela. Okay. Welcome to class, Gela. Where are you from?
Thank you. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi.
Great. Awesome to have so many new students with us, or new to me anyways. It's good to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Okay. And Rafael, you're not new. Welcome to class.
Hi, Michaela. Yes, I'm really old, but
Good to have you with us.
thanks.
And Suno, how I say it? Suno.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Suno. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, right.
Okay, excellent. And where are you from?
I'm from South Korea.
Very cool. Good to have you here with us.
Thank you.
And David, welcome back.
Hello, Michaela.
Hi, David. How are you?
A little sad, but I'm okay.
You're a little sad. Why?
For yesterday for the game.
Yeah, it is too bad.
Yeah.
But it's just a game at least. It happens again 4 more years. So you have time to, or, everyone has time to practice and try again.
Okay.
And Isaac, welcome to class.
Hi, Michaela. How are you?
Hi, Isaac. I'm doing very well. Having a nice weekend so far. How are you?
Fine. Fine, thanks. Just to enjoy the weekend.
Love the weekends. Okay, so I'm going to put the notes in the chat boxes for you guys. You can open them up, save them, load them, do whatever you want. And I'm also going to screen share for anyone who wants to look off of my spare pair of notes. Here we go. So today we're talking about health and health myths. And we're going to start with a few warm-up questions, get a little discussion going, and then we'll talk a little more about some health myths. So first question we're going to start with are, what things do you do to stay healthy? So, and we'll do 2 at a time here. So what things do you do to stay healthy, and what unhealthy habits do people have nowadays? And I'm going to start on the left with Amaury. Tell us, what do you do to stay healthy, and what unhealthy habits do people have these days?
I think to practice exercise and it has have a good food, vegetables or something like that.
So those are the things that you do to stay healthy?
Yes, I every time I run with my dogs and play soccer in my job.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
And what are some unhealthy habits people have now?
Maybe drink beers or I don't know. I like beers, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be considered an unhealthy habit. That's a good one. All right, next up is Daniel. Same 2 questions. What do you do to stay healthy, and what do people do that's unhealthy nowadays?
Well, I like to swim 3 times a week. I like the gym, for example, but I don't know, for me it's kind of hard to get that routine of waking up at 5 a.m. It's so hard for me. So I prefer to swim. And healthy habit, also food. I like to eat healthy food, and unhealthy habits do people. People have nowadays, for example, smoking, alcoholism. What else? I think.
Yeah, definitely those are bad habits.
Yeah. Junk food also, maybe. Downells.
Yeah, food too, for sure. Good one. Okay. And David, you're up next. Tell us what you do to stay healthy and what unhealthy habits some people have.
Yeah. Okay. I usually do exercise like 4 or 5 days a week. I am very disciplined with that. Yeah, I like to do a lot of exercise. I don't drink. I don't smoke because I don't like it. The food, no, I eat everything. Doesn't care if this is junk food or nutrition food or vegetables or anything. I eat everything. Okay. People, bad habits for healthy, like could be drugs. It's really bad for health.
Definitely.
Yeah, like other classmates say, alcohol, smoke, for example, stay sitting much time in the desk in your office. Maybe not
Mm-hmm.
it's not very good for your health. Not do exercise and eat in a bad way. Yeah.
Not. Great suggestions. Thanks, David.
Okay.
And Gela, tell us, what do you do to stay healthy, and what are some unhealthy habits of people have nowadays?
Thank you. I'm trying to eat healthy food uh, and sleep properly. Also move properly. I mean, do some exercises, etc. Um, Also, very important is the right attitude to life. If you worry about little silly things, it's not good for health. And my main thing for me is that we should not run into extremes. If you sleep more than it needs, it's very bad. Also, if you eat a lot, it's very bad, etc. So main thing is the extreme is also very bad.
Good point. Totally. And you think people are sometimes extreme nowadays? That's their bad habit?
Yes. Especially about food, people tend to eat more than they need to eat, and I noticed tendency when, for example, when someone has breakfast, they think about dinner, the process of breakfast, and this process is restless and it's not doesn't stop, so it's very bad.
Yeah. People can't focus on one thing. They're always on to the next.
Yes.
Definitely. All right, Isaac, you're up. Tell us what you do to stay healthy and what people do that's unhealthy.
Well, what I do, in fact, I have a problem because I have no enough hours to practice all sports that I would practice. Uh, and well, I only can swim because I'm waiting for a surgery on my knee, and I only can uh, swim, and I swim 3 days a week, like uh, like Daniel. Well, I don't smoke. I try to to eat healthy food, avoiding junk food and similars, and I don't drink alcohol too. Well, I think this is the key.
Yeah, you sound pretty healthy aside from your knee that you're getting surgery on. When are you getting surgery for your knee?
I think September.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you have the pool to help you exercise.
Yeah, at least.
And what do you think are some unhealthy habits of people nowadays?
Well, smoke, drink, sports. I think the life nowadays is kind of how it says in English. Sedentarism.
Yeah, sedentary. So sometimes people sit around too much and they're sedentary. Totally true. That's a big danger.
The jobs nowadays are more or less active
Mm-hmm, definitely.
and more hours. Is work, sofa, work, sofa, work, sofa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Thank you very much for contributing. And next up is Julius. Tell us about how you like to stay healthy and what people do today that's not so healthy.
Well, I smoke, but I try to quit smoking. Um, Also, I have one of the biggest problems of people today is to be overweighted. So it is very important to eat food with low carbohydrates level, uh, sport exercises. I try to do this minimum 3 times a week. That's all.
All right. Sounds like you're trying to get your health in order. And what do you think people do today that are not so healthy? Some habits people have today that are not healthy.
Smoking. Smoking is a very number one problem of the unhealthy life today.
And so hard to quit.
Yes, I think this is a kind of drug.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dangerous to start.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you for contributing, Julius. Rafael, you're up next. Tell us about how you stay healthy and what some people do that are unhealthy habits.
What I do to stay healthy? Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Well, unfortunately, I'm weak. I try to establish a routine of exercises. At least I try to wake up every morning and go jogging at least 3 times per week. But unfortunately, I missed the last 5 weeks. So yes, yes, I'm guilty. I'm a couch potato. I don't like to do exercises, but I know it's important for our health to maintain our fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And well, at least I don't drink. I don't drink and I don't smoke. That's a good point, at least for me. But unfortunately, I love junk food. I love hamburgers, and sometimes my brother-in-law comes and brings an hamburger, and I keep looking at it, and it looks at me, and I say, that, well, should I or should I not eat it? But unfortunately, as I told, I'm 1 week, but I am trying to change my hobbies, my activities, my to to better my fitness, to start working, doing exercises, and change my habits of food habits, eating more salads, eating more white meat, chicken meat. Try to avoid pork and other black meats, which is very harmful for us. And that's it.
All right. Well, keep it up. Keep trying.
Thanks.
Okay. And Rosario, tell us how you like to stay healthy and what people do nowadays that's not so healthy.
Well, what I do, as Rafael say, I don't do nothing to be healthy. Actually, I have bad habits like smoking. So I know I'm ashamed of myself, but
It's pretty hard to quit once you've started. Have you ever
It
tried
is.
to quit smoking?
I've tried, and actually now I was trying with the electronic cigarette, but it lasts me like 2, 3 months, and then now I'm back to regular cigarettes. But I'm smoking less than I used to. That's I have to tell that. I used to smoke a pack of cigarettes. Now I'm down to probably 5, 6 cigarettes per day.
Step in the right direction. Good job.
Yes. Yep.
And what are some habits people have today that are not healthy?
Well, alcohol, as the other people were mentioned, the alcohol, drugs, and junk food. see that side. I'm trying to eat healthy at least, and I talk to myself that I can eat junk food once a month, like I eat hamburgers or other stuff that are not healthy, but just once a month I'm allowed to eat this stuff. And then yeah, that has I don't remember who said that about sedentary, like
Mm-hmm.
people don't do nothing. Like I'm just sitting in front of computer or in front of TV and I don't do any workout. That's a bad habit, and I'm trying to uh, change that habit too. I'm trying at least I talk to myself to at least have 1 hour of run every day. At least
Wow,
to run 1 hour every day. Yeah.
that's a
So
great goal.
I'm trying to change a little bit. You know, I'm trying to.
Hmm.
It's hard though. It's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah,
When you used
very
to do
hard.
things and suddenly you have to change the way you eat, the way you do stuff. It's hard, but it's a challenge. So I'm trying to
Hmm.
get to these goals.
Well, good job. I
Thank you.
hope you make it.
I'll try.
All right. So number 3, I think we're going to move on. But if you guys have a cure for the common cold or a cure for the hangover that you'd like to share, you're welcome to put it in the chat box for us, and I'll read them over later. But for now, let's move on to our health myths. We have a short paragraph here, and I'm going to ask Isaac to read it for us before our exercise.
Myths about health. Old wives' tales. Old wives' tales are pieces of advice, usually about nutrition or parenting that are passed down from an older mother to a younger one. Such tales such tales are often based on superstitions instead of fact. What old wives' tales are shared in your country? Make a list with a partner.
Okay. So do you guys have any old wives' tales to share? Anyone have some kind of piece of advice that isn't necessarily true, but it's kind of like a
We use only
fact that people
10% of
say?
our brain.
Ah, so is that an old wives' tale?
Yes. We use only
And you think it's more superstition instead of fact?
about 10% of brain.
Yeah, you think that it's a superstition, that it's not really true.
Yes, the fact is that even scientists don't know exactly what percent of our brain we use because this area of science is not very good examined, and this 10% came mm, from the early 19th, when people were talking about students. Um, um, I don't know how to explain this.
Psychology students or
Yes, exactly.
neurological scientists?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, yeah. So we don't know so much. How can we possibly put a number like that on it? Totally
Mhm.
true. Anyone else have an old wives' tale they'd like to share?
Yeah. Yeah, for example, I've heard when you get injured or wounded, you can put a potato inside your wound or above your wound, and that will help the wound to get better.
A potato. That's a funny one.
Yeah, potato.
That's pretty funny. And you don't think it's true? It doesn't help at all?
No, absolutely not. But
All
it's
right.
funny. Funny.
Yeah, definitely. Any other old wives' tales you guys can share?
May I? We in Georgia, yes, we have some superstition. For example, I remember from my childhood, during eating, you have to eat all the food on your plate. If you don't eat, your wife in the future will be untidy. This is one of the superstitions here.
That's pretty funny. That's a well, what if you're a girl and you don't eat everything on your plate? Does that mean your husband will be untidy?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's a pretty funny one. Any other old wives' tales?
Yes, men think of sex every 7 seconds.
And you don't think that's a true one?
This is a fact.
Ah, it's a fact. Okay. So it's more like a fact than a superstition. Interesting. And it's actually on our document. It's one of our, it's one of the ones we're going to discuss later on in our next exercise. So interesting one to bring up. Thank you. Anyone else have an old wives' tale they want to share before we go on to our next exercise?
When I was younger, I was always told to not mix mangoes with milk. It can cause a harmful experience in our stomach. I don't know exactly if it's true, but
Interesting.
yeah.
So don't mix mangoes and milk because in your stomach it'll like curdle the milk or something, make the milk
Yes,
go bad.
yes, everyone have said that when I was a child, but I don't believe it. It's really strange.
Yeah, it does seem like a kind of a superstitious fact or something, but hard to say if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to our matching exercise below, which are 14 myths or facts. We have to decide if you guys think that they're true or false, true or just a myth. So the table below contains some commonly held health ideas. First, match the beginning of each sentence to its end, then decide which you believe and which you do not. So we're going to match them and then decide what we think about them. Number 1. Oh, Akka, welcome to class.
Yes, hello.
How are you, Akka?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Awesome. Will you read number 1 and match it to the second part of the sentence?
Okay, people should drink mm, mm, drink tissue from people does at least 8 glasses of water a day.
Excellent. And what do you think, Akka? Is that a myth or a fact?
I think it's a fact because our body is maybe 80% or 70% made of water. So
All right.
yeah.
Fact. Anyone want to disagree? Anyone have a different opinion? No? All right.
I have one idea. It depends on location. If you live in India, I think you have to drink even more water. But if
Wow,
you
because it's so hot.
yes, of course.
There was,
But if you live in some cold place, it's not necessary to drink too much water.
Interesting. You're right. It probably does depend on each person and where they are. Lots of factors. All right. Number 2. It's Daniel's turn to read and match.
Okay. Reading in dim light harms your eyesight.
And what do you think? Myth or fact?
Well, maybe it's true, I think.
All right, you think it's true. Anyone want to disagree? No? All right. Then number 3 is David's turn. Go ahead and read and match.
I can see. Okay. Eating turkey makes. I don't know what is turkey makes, teacher.
So turkey is a kind of meat from a bird. It's a very large bird that I think is from North America.
I don't know. I don't know. No, what is that?
I will.
A mix is the type of food.
Yeah, so this type of food does something special, like to you. This is a turkey, by the way.
Like something.
Kind of a scary looking bird. All right, so eating turkey makes.
It's not common in my country that phrase, so I don't know cook much.
Does anybody else know this myth? What does turkey make?
Yeah,
What does it do?
I heard people drowsy.
Yes, the myth is that it makes people drowsy. Does anyone think that this is true or false, fact or myth?
Yeah, that's myth. Why drowsy?
I don't know. I think it's because of Thanksgiving in the US. It's this day when we have this huge feast and everybody eats a lot. And so afterwards, everyone is really tired and they can't do anything because you're so full that you really just don't want to do any activity. So everyone kind of just lays around all day and is very sedentary. So I think that's why people say that turkey makes you drowsy, because we eat turkey and then nobody wants to move because you're so full. I think that's where it started. All right, let's move on to number 4, which we kind of talked about for a second already. And I think it's Gella's turn to read.
Men think of sex every 7 seconds.
All right. What do you guys think? Fact, myth, or fact?
Sometimes it's fact, but not always.
So
yes.
It depends on what? The person maybe, right?
Person and I don't know, when we sleep at night, I'm not sure that we are thinking about it every 7 seconds.
Very true. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, it's hard to really know these kinds of things. Like, I'm not sure if scientists are totally sure about this. It might just be something someone made up. All right. Any other comments or questions on this one before we go on to number 5? No? Then Isaac, your turn, number 5. Isaac, are you there?
Sorry. 5. Cold, wet weather causes colds and flu.
So what do you guys think? Fact or myth?
Fact.
Fact. Anyone want to disagree with that one?
Yeah, you don't.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, if you don't use the correct clothes.
Definitely.
To avoid
clothes are important. I learned this lesson the hard way when I grew up in a very hot, dry place in Arizona. And then when I first moved away, I went to Italy, to Torino, which is it's a little bit colder and it's a lot more wet. There's a lot of rain. And so when I first moved there, I was just sick all the time because I would take a shower and I would go out with my hair wet. And then I would be really, really cold and I'd get sick. And it took me a long time to figure out that you can't do that, because if you go out of the house when you're wet, it'll make you really cold and then sick. So I think this one's fact. Based on
in terms of flu, influenza, influenza virus will be die out in a dry place, actually. Wet place. A dry place, they prefer dry air. So
interesting.
It could be for colds, but not always true for influenza.
Ooh, that's some pretty cool scientific fact you got there. And how did you know that the flu likes to hang out in dry places?
Because it is common knowledge here. So people sometimes, steam the air in the because wintertime here is cold and dry. So sometimes they use steamer to prevent influenza or while they are
Interesting.
suffering influenza.
Very cool. That's a great fact to know. Thank you. All right, let's move on to number 6. And let's see, it's Julius, your turn. Number 6.
Chocolate causes acne.
And what do you think? Fact or myth?
I think this is myth, but I heard a lot about it in my childhood. Maybe there are some possibility that it causes acne because of sugar, not because of chocolate inside it.
I see. So because it's a high sugary, unhealthy food, that might cause acne?
Yes, exactly.
All
I
right.
think chocolate by itself doesn't lead to acne.
All right. Anyone else have an opinion on this one? Does it or doesn't it cause acne?
What means acne? What's the meaning of this word?
Good question. Can anyone define acne for us?
Yeah, when you're a teenager, those little itchy things that are in your face or
Yeah. Yeah, kind of caused by hormones, little red spots all over your face or sometimes chest or back or wherever.
yeah.
All right. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to eat chocolate whether it causes acne or not. So, all right. Number 7, Rafael.
Standing in your head cures hiccups.
And what do you think? Myth or fact?
Well, this is new for me. I don't know. I never tried. Maybe when I get hiccups again, I will try this.
I I've tried this and I think it works if you drink water while you're on your head. I know it seems crazy, but I swear it works. For me, it works. I don't know about everyone else. But I sit upside down on my couch so that my head is on the floor and I drink a little water and it cures my hiccups every time.
When I was
Does
a
anyone
child, my uncle used to put a piece of paper on your forehead to cure this.
really? And did it
Yes,
work?
I don't remember. That for me not, but I think it's just a myth.
Yeah, everyone
I
has
have
their own cure for these things.
I have my own one. When I have hiccups, I usually take a sugar tablespoon. That absolutely work
And you just
100%.
eat it? You eat it dry?
Yeah, a tablespoon of sugar and
Oh,
that's it.
that kind of sounds weird, like it would be untasty.
That works for me every
I'll have
time,
to try
every
that
single.
next time. I've never tried that one.
You have to give it a shot.
All right. Any other comments? Any other hiccup cures? Okay, then let's move on. Next up is Suno. You're going to read, let's see, number 8.
Worry and stress can turn mm, um, I have no idea.
All right. Does anyone know the answer to this one?
Your hair gray.
Yeah, it turns your hair gray. What do you guys think? Myth or fact?
Fact.
Yes, it's fact.
All right. Everyone says fact. Okay. Next up, we're back to Aka.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I lost the text. Okay. We use only 10% of our brains.
All right. And myth or fact?
I think it's almost like urban myth. Some scientists say that, and some other science researchers says it's not true.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this one before. It's impossible to know this kind of thing, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Then number 10. Ooh. Daniel. Sorry,
Okay.
number 10.
Hair and fingernails continue to grow after death.
What do you think?
Well,
Myth or fact?
I'm on the fence. I'm not sure.
Anyone else know? Anyone else
Yes.
have an idea?
Yes, this is a fact. Not all the cells in our body die after dying of the body, and some cells are continuing to live for some hours or even for some days.
Until the fuel is gone.
Yes.
Interesting. So our nails do grow a little after death then.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right. Next up is David. David. Go ahead.
Shaving hair causes, I think A, it to grow back faster, darker, or thicker.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
I think, I am not sure, but I think it's a fact because I read or someone says me that if you go more frequently to the barber, your hair is going to grow more faster.
Yeah.
So we think it's true then? This is a fact?
I think it's right.
All right, everyone says fact. Gala, your turn.
Children who eat a lot of sugar become hyperactive. I think it's felt, no, not true.
And why not?
Because usually if someone eats a lot of sugar, they become plump, overweighted, yes. So
I see.
it's not reason to become hyperactive. I don't know. Maybe it's...
So it makes you maybe a little slower because you're fat.
Yes, yes.
All right. Anyone have a different opinion?
Kind of current study shows, the intaking a lot of sugar make people unstable. It's consume a lot of minerals, and so nowadays, soft drinks, sugar, can be dangerous. So in American school, yeah, soft drink vending machines were banned for that reason. In some
So maybe
American
not
schools.
hyperactive, but a little unstable.
Yeah, unstable is related to hyperactive, actually.
Okay. Very cool. Anyone else want to share anything about this one?
And you can
Eating
be
too much
diabetic.
sugar? Huh?
You can get a diabetic issue. You eat more sugar. Diabetic. Yeah.
A genetic issue? Like diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah.
Yes. That's true. Definitely not a good thing.
You get more insulin or something. I don't know.
Insulin, yeah.
Insulin, yeah.
Yep. definitely bad. All right. Number 13, Isaac.
Chewing gum takes hiccups or hiccups?
Nope.
No.
Anyone else know the answer to this one? What does chewing gum do?
7 years to pass through your system.
Yep. So it takes 7 years to pass through your system. Is that a fact or a myth?
Myth.
I think it's a myth.
Everyone agree it's a myth?
Yeah, I would be that then.
Do you eat a lot of chewing gum? You
Yeah,
swallow?
when I was a child, yeah, a lot of.
Otherwise, we would find a chewing gum that we ate 7 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, gross. That would be really gross. All right. And the last one we have is for Julius.
Having sex before playing sports um, reduces your performance. This is different for males and females.
You think so?
women, I know this.
So what's different?
It reduces performance of men to make sex before the sport. It is different for women.
So it'll reduce performance for men, but women won't reduce performance?
Coaches recommend women sportsmen to make sex before the competition.
Interesting.
Yeah, for
Anyone
men,
else have an opinion on this one?
yeah, I know a little. For men, it's because when you have sex before, like you reduce or decrease your level of testosterone. You know the hormone in the body?
Yeah, testosterone.
Testosterone, yeah, and you are more, yeah, you are more not in good shape. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
decrease that hormone in your body, and your shape's not so good condition.
All right. Well, glad I don't have to worry about that one, because I'm not a man. And I don't really play sports, but... Okay. So, any last comments or questions on any of this before we move on to reading some little facts about those myths and facts? Okay. Then in the next section, we have some short paragraphs just talking a little bit about some answers to those facts and myths. The first paragraph there, Rafael, will you read it for us?
Water. 8 glasses of 2 or 2 to 3 liters of water a day are not needed to maintain health. The amount of water needed varies by person, weight, activity level, clothing, and environment, heat and humidity. Moreover, juice, tea, milk, fruits, and vegetables also contain water and can supply more than half of the needed water.
Excellent. Thank you. We talked a little bit about this before. Kind of depends. Depends on a lot of stuff. Okay. Next up, Suno, will you read the next paragraph for us about sugar in children?
Sugar and children. Studies have shown no differences between children given sugar-full or sugar-free diets. Even in studies specifically looking at children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, DHHD, ADHD, or those considered sensitive to sugar.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next one's pretty short, but Akko, will you read that one for us? Akko, are you there?
Sorry, I forgot. I mute my. Chewing gum is mostly digestible, but it passes through the digestive system at the same rate as other matter.
Thank you very much. I think that's what we concluded. Next paragraph, we're back to Daniel. Go ahead.
Yeah, 10 brain usage. While it is true that a small minority of neurons in the brain is actively firing at any one time, inactive neurons are important too. This false belief has been around since the start of 20th century and was attributed to William James, who apparently used the expression metaphorically.
Thank you very much. Next up, David. David, are you there? Sorry, David's gone. Gela, your turn.
Okay. Every 7 seconds. In reality, this has not been measured, and as far as researchers can tell, this statistic greatly exaggerates the frequency of sexual thoughts.
Thank you very much. Next up, Isaac.
Sex before sports. There is no physiological basis for this belief. Additionally, it has been proven that sex during the 24 hours prior to sports activity can raise the levels of testosterone in males, which potentially could enhance performance.
Thank you very much. So this is a little different than what you guys said. But who knows what's true? I'm not certainly a scientist on this one. Okay. Julius, you're up next.
Shaving hair. Shaving doesn't cause hair to grow back thicker or darker. This belief is due to hair which has never been cut having a tapered end, whereas after cutting there is no taper. The cut hair appears to be thicker and feels thicker due to the sharper, unworn edges. The shorter hairs, being harder, less flexible than longer hairs, also contribute to this effect.
Thank you very much. And the last one, Rafael. Go ahead and read it for us. Oops.
Hairs and nails after death. Hair and fingernails do not grow after a person dies. Rather, the skin dries and shrinks from the bases of hairs and nails, giving the appearance of growth.
Thank you very much. Okay. Any surprises on that list? No? So,
yes, I thought about the last one that I was sure that after death nails arises, so it's a surprise for me.
yeah, well, who knows? I mean, maybe they grow like a tiny little bit, but lots of kind of crazy stuff happens after we die. A little gross to think about, but your nails grow, your skin shrinks. Not a pretty picture. Any other surprises you guys had on this list?
No.
Okay. So below this, we have some vocabulary from what we read. All of the bold words are on this vocabulary list. And we do not have time to go over all of these words because we only have a couple minutes left. But do you guys have any questions on this list of vocabulary words, words that you have no idea what they mean and would like defined before we leave class today?
Yeah. The shrink.
Which one? Shrink. Shrink.
Yeah,
The very last one. Does anyone know the definition for this verb? The verb shrink?
To become shorter.
Mm-hmm. Shorter or smaller in any way. Mm-hmm. So when something shrinks, it gets smaller. Let me think of something that, like if you have a grape and you leave it out in the sun, it becomes a raisin and it gets all small, much smaller than before, and you say it shrinks.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Any other vocabulary questions from this list?
Exaggerate.
Exaggerate. Anyone have a good definition for the verb exaggerate?
As I know, it's something extreme, when something is too much, exaggerated.
Mm-hmm. And usually it's like a person's opinion. So if something happened, sorry, hold on a sec. If something happened and I came home and I was like, oh, it was the worst thing ever. It was terrible, awful. Oh, I'm exaggerating. Yeah, I'm like overstating how bad something was and making it a little bigger than possibly necessary.
Mm.
Can you say, for example, make a mountain of a molehill?
Yes, an excellent idiom. Making a mountain of a molehill. Great. Okay, any other last vocabulary questions before we head out today?
Can I ask about the words, the hiccups and drowsy? Yes.
Hiccups and drowsy. Okay, we'll do those two before we leave. What is a hiccup? Can anyone give us an imitation of a hiccup? Yeah.
Oh,
And drowsy, does anyone know the definition for this adjective?
Sleepy.
Yes, when someone is sleepy or lazy, not without much energy. Exactly. Okay, so I have another class starting in just a minute, and the next one is similar to this in form, but it's got a different topic and a different reading. We're going to be talking about traveling and tourism. So if you guys would like to join, I'd love to have you. And if not, I hope to see you all again sometime soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.